Hello, I hope everyone's doing good today. My name's Tyrese Rowe, proud son of Vineesha So. If you don't know who my mother is, I'm here to tell you today she's a resilient woman who can persevere through any obstacle. It has always only been me and my mom. I was born around the same time she graduated high school. We were both simply kids. It's almost as if we grew up together. One of the biggest obstacles I've seen her do was study for the bar. Countless nights of textbooks, reading out loud, and pacing from the house. I could see the stress on her face constantly just as a 10-year-old. As a young man of color, watching my mother's story unfold helped me shape my own journey. Memories of me sitting inside her law classes always stick with me. And even today when I'm in college, I think of them. There were times I would hang out in her college campuses while she was in class studying and working hard. With no help and being on the other side of the country at the University of San Francisco, she took on the tremendous responsibility of taking care of a kid and also getting her education. It was an everyday battle for both of us. These memories come to show you how my mother was able to balance countless responsibilities and also pursue a higher education. She's a go-getter, and she'll fight and advocate for what she believes in. This is what makes her a special woman. These expectations were instilled in me. Yes, I don't have the same responsibilities as she once did, but it's all the same when trying to become a young professional. Therefore, the expectation for me at Bentley University and my education and entrepreneurial journey is very high. I've created my own business while also balancing college classes, but nothing will compare to my mother's story. The one person who I always go to knowledge is her. She's always supported me and always calls me out when I'm wrong or need to go back to the drawing board. She was given a roadmap to success thanks to Bottom Line, and now I can walk in the same path as her in everything she's done. Now please welcome my mother, Vineesha So.
Good evening, everyone. I told myself I was not gonna cry, and I purposefully did not listen or read Tyrese's speech, thinking that I wanted it to surprise me, but I did shed a little tear, but that was phenomenal. Thank you, Tyrese. Wow, that was breathtaking. So it's truly an honor to be here tonight, and I feel extremely blessed to be recognized tonight. This is actually my second time on stage at a Bottom Line event, giving praise to the organization. Fun fact, the first time I spoke, Jeanette actually was the alumni speaker at that event. Hopefully she remembers in 2008. The last time, So the last time I stood on the stage, again, was in 2008, and when I was the student speaker, and I had just graduated from Suffolk University. My son at the time was a bright-eyed 5-year-old in kindergarten who only came up to about my waist. As you can see, he has shot up quite a bit since that time. That night, we took a picture I still have. And when I think back to that evening and look at that photo, I think I see myself as someone who knew, even then, 15 years ago, that everything, anything that I sought to accomplish, either professionally or personally, could be done. I knew that I would be able to graduate from law school, pass the Massachusetts bar exam, become an attorney, and do the things that I could be proud of, that my family could be proud of. And I did just that. Over the past 8 years as an attorney, I have had incredible legal experiences and successes in both the public and private sectors, and I have worked among and met extremely bright minds. Despite the circumstances of my birth, despite the circumstances of my parents, despite the circumstances of being a teenage mother, my potential, my intelligence, and my motivation were the necessary ingredients to becoming a successful attorney. My path was not easy, and there were obstacles to overcome. I rose up and used them as motivation. to make the dreams of my future my reality. I credit Bottom Line for helping me to understand how to propel myself forward rather than keeping myself back. Whether it was connecting me with opportunities in high school, introducing me to another organization to secure an internship at a large law firm based in Boston as a college freshman, or helping me build my network of Boston area legal professionals. Bottom Line has been there to support and encourage me throughout my education and in my professional career. The success I have experienced professionally and personally has made me nostalgic and curious about who I come from. Recently, I began to investigate my family's history. See, my maternal grandparents, born in Alabama, were raised by farmers and housekeepers. They lived in poverty, and I mean real poverty, no indoor plumbing type of poverty. They both arrived in Boston in their late teens to find work and obtain financial mobility. A lot of our family's history in the South was lost because of this migration to the North. And I wanted to research more about the people I come from. Henry Alfred Hollingsworth. I'd never heard that name, didn't know who it was. Come to find out, that was my fourth great-grandfather, who was born in Alabama in 1822. And he was likely enslaved. I found out that he fought for the United States colored troops in the Union during the Civil War. I cannot express the pride I have in knowing that I had an ancestor who fought to be free. He fought for freedom, and the ripple effect of his actions is what has led me to be here before you now, sharing my story. And from learning about my own history, I believe even more so now that we have an obligation to live every day with the goal of being better and doing better, not just for ourselves and our children, but also for our community as well. It is not lost on me that there are so many young, capable, and smart individuals who may not have the connections and opportunities to fully realize their potential. This is particularly true for young Black men and young men of color who do not have resources tailored for them. I hope to see more young men of color living out their dreams and setting and accomplishing goals. But it takes the investment of a community who believes in them, a community with members that will reach out and open their doors and to invite others in. It is our obligation to reach back and help those who require support, connections, and resources. Not only am I the mother of a young man of color, I grew up surrounded by young Black men who were capable, intelligent, and kind beings, who unfortunately were not able to realize their potential. They lacked resources that took into consideration their distinct plight as young men of color. As my son Tyrese mentioned earlier, he is in his first year at Bentley University. I'm really proud of him. I knew his motivation and intellect helped propel him to where he is today, but I also know that my experiences, the skills I learned, the connections I've made, and the help I received along the way helped make it possible for him to set and accomplish his own goals. Bottom Line can and will serve hundreds of young men of color in this same way. To all the young people in the room tonight, I feel old when I just said that. The students, the recent college graduates, other alumni, I want you to know that there will always be obstacles. There will always be setbacks, but never give up and always know that you're worthy to be in any space that you associate with success. And that's despite the circumstances of your birth, despite the circumstances of your parents, despite your potential and your intelligence and your motivation are what you will use to rise up and start the ripple effect in your own communities. Never give up, stay the course, and remember the words of Cicely Tyson. To soar towards what's possible, you must leave behind what's comfortable. Thank you, everyone.